Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. In this video, I will be installing the glass. So this video was filmed over the course of a month. Because of how I was doing this project, I wanted to tell the story about the window, so I took all that video and compiled it into one video. But you'll see different stages of the door. You'll see it unfinished, finished, and then all this stuff. So keep that in mind. You'll also see the door handle. It's just way out of series of the actual project that I did. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. Let's start. Let's go. Let's do this. Hello. How are you? Are you as drunk as I am? Oh, that's good lighting right there. You're weird. So this is filmed completely out of series with the rest of my build, which a lot of the build has gone like that. But I was about to throw down my first coat of oil on the door, and I realized that I don't have my window stops that go around the window. So when I put my window in, I'll have something that holds it in, and I want everything to be finished the same. So I'm trying to get all the little pieces that need to be done finished, sanded, so that the finish goes on the same exact way for all of them. So right now I'm just going to rip this board down to roughly a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to re-rip it again so that it's a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch. And then I need to put a chamfer on it. So first I'm going to put a nice straight edge on this. I don't know what has happened here, but stuff happens. Not happy with the stuff that's happened there. What? Why? Where is this board from? Peanut? Peanut is attacking the little children. Peanut, stop, please. God, you're psycho, Peanut. Oh, God. Actually, Peanut! Come! So now I'm going to set my blade to a 1/2 inch. Ah, you burned the shit out of it all over the place. So I ripped down 4 pieces. I'm only going to need 3, but I figure the way things have been going on this project, it's better to have choices. So I'm now going to re-saw these again to a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to keep the blade right where it's at, I think. I'm going to go check this with the door, actually. I'll be right back. So I brought one of these pieces to the door and held it inside the window opening, and I've decided I'm going to go with that 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to keep the blade and the fence right where it's at, and I'm going to re-saw this again. Well, I guess I'll lower the blade. Alright, so I set my blade to the correct height. Also install the feather board. I'm going to rip these bad boys down to a 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to go put a chamfer in these, probably just a small little bad boy, and then sand the shit out of them. Sanding's going to suck because orbital sander on little things is not good. These are ugly as f***. I might redo every single one of these when I'm sober. Golly. Not one good one in the batch. So the window is going to eventually slide in here. Well, I guess in this episode you will see the window slide in here, and then I need stops to go around it. So I put a small chamfer on this, not as much as I did on the rest of the window, and I think I'm going to end up, I made a 3/4 inch router here, but I think I'm going to get a 1/2 inch thick window, double pane, tempered glass, all the good shit. So that looks good. I think that looks good. So I'm going to put a small chamfer on all these pieces on one side of it. So if you see here, like this right here, I have a burn mark, and then right here I got a saw mark. So I'm going to put that side towards the outside and this side towards the window, so you won't see these 2 points. So if I put a chamfer on this edge right here, it'll hide both those hack-ass stuff I've done there. To think, I went from this to this. That was it. This was the original idea right here. And then when I was like in like episode something 6, I made this picture right here, and that was just, I don't even know what that was, but this is all I have. These are available for download. $600. You can download this on my website. $600 though. You have to pay $600 for this. Don't complain. Hate is gonna hate. Peanut, stop it. I want it dead. F me. I'm done with that bit. I can take that out. Now, you see what I did here? I set this chamfer bit, and it's got a little bearing on here, and I set the depth to be where I want it to be. I ran a test on a scrap piece of wood, and I got what I liked. And then I took these 4 pieces that I have, I laid them down, figuring that this piece of wood right here, the scrap block right here, is the glass, and then the outside of the door is on this side right here. So bad edge and bad edge go towards those 2 points. Good edge and good edge are exposed this way. So I'm going to place the chamfer on this right here. Now these are about 6 inches long, so if I screw up at the beginning or the end, it's not going to be the end of the world. Now this was the same process that I went through when I did my door stops, which are all these pieces right here. I installed a chamfer on all those, which I said I was going to do, but I never filmed any of it. So I clamped the piece down onto a board, basically a scrap block, and I also hung it off the edge. I got a chamfer in it, so now I'm going to sand those down, and I won't bore you with that. I'm sorry about the rain, but I need to do this quick little portion of the project. So yesterday I called a window manufacturer, and I ordered the double pane tempered window that's going to go in the door here. I ordered it so it was 5/8 inch thick, and then I gave myself 3/16 total gap around it. So if I put it tight here, I'll have a 3/16 gap, which means I'll end up with like a 3/32 gap around the entire window. I believe that's right, and I'm going to fill that with silicone so that if the window expands and contracts, it's not going to screw the door up. The reason I went with 5/8 versus 3/4 was because of these pieces right here. Oh, no good. So I put a small chamfer on the inside of this window, and then I made these pieces. Now I want these pieces to be just below that chamfer, and then they'll start. And so I measured this, and I had about 5/8 of an inch. So that's why I went with that. That's fine with me, except for this bottom piece that I had left long, which was gonna accept this window piece right here. Now I've been thinking about removing this since the day I put it in. I mean, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea or not. It kind of felt like it was, but I'm kind of not liking it. And since I've made 4 of these, I have enough to go around the entire window. I think I'm gonna remove this piece right here, do the same thing I did here, and then install one of these on there so it looks similar all the way around. And then also, I'm not sure if you can tell, but if you look at this color compared to the door, it's completely different. So if I were to put these around the window, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So I've decided, last night while I was at work, I gave this great thought. I've decided I'm gonna remove this. Holy shit. So I set my router up with a flush cutting bit. It's a 1/2 inch flush cutting bit. It's got a bearing thingamajiggy. I'm gonna go and take several passes on this and bring it back slowly to this point right here, I think. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, that's gonna be way better. It'll look the same all the way around. Now what I have to do is come back and square these corners off and then put a chamfer in this. Son of a bitch, that's hard to take off. This router set that I bought was like $79, and it was like the smaller one. And then I just looked today in Lowe's flyer, and they had one for, it was like double the size for $50 on sale. Making me angry, very angry boy you become. So I installed my chamfering bit into the router, and now I'm just going to chamfer this edge in here, and then I'll have to come in with a chisel and make a point right here. Minor screw up right there and right there, but I'm just going to quickly hand sand this. The only thing that's going to be exposed is this chamfer, and then about a 1/16 inch on down here. Yeah, that is going to look so much better. I've only done 1 coat of finish on this, so I'm going to throw that on. I'm going to just put another coat on it, let it harden, and then tomorrow probably I'll do the 2nd coat. Maybe not though, who knows. I'm absolutely amazed by this finish, by the way. I have never, that is my new go-to finish for everything. Absolutely the most amazing finish I've ever had. You can definitely not tell that there was a mistake made there. All right, it's been a few days and I got my window, and I've got all my window stops made and finished. I had made these long, so now I got to go back and cut them to length. You can see right here, this one's got a big chunk taken out of it. I'm gonna just cut that out and then I can get my length. Now I want these two side rails to run from the bottom to the top just because of the way this wood is. I think it'll look the best that way because this piece stops here. I want this to go flush with that. To get the length of my piece, I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to butt the piece in where it's got to go and then use my pencil to mark the length. A little too long. That'll work. Now I cut that a little long, but that'll ensure it stays in there tight. I don't want it to be pushing too much, but that'll work. Now since these are longer than what I need, I'm going to look to see which portion of the piece I want to get. This side's a little darker than that side, so I want to go darker. I'm going to take an inch off this side. Bam. So this piece of glass I got, it's 2 pieces of tempered glass, 1/8 inch thick. On any door you always need tempered glass so that if you were to hit it, it's going to shatter into a million pieces and not become plate glass and cut your hand off. But it's 2 sheets, 1/8 inch thick. It's got a total thickness of 5/8 of an inch, and it was completely custom made for me. I called up a manufacturer, Clear Light Glass and Mirror, out of Kernersville, North Carolina, and told them exactly what I needed. I gave myself a little space around it. I'm going to put some silicone in it. But now that I got these door stops in, I'm going to fasten these in with screws, I think. I bought these screws right here. I wanted like long screws to do the hinges. I just opened the bag and there's 3 really long screws. I'm gonna end up going, this was like a $2 or something. I'm gonna go buy a couple bags of these so I can have some long screws in the hinges. But the shorter ones, all these little guys, I'm gonna use to fasten these in. I can drill for that, right? Peanut, I'm gonna get them. So I'm gonna pre-drill for all those screws that go into the window stops. So I want it to be equal and symmetrical and all those big fancy words. So let's say I went 1.5 inches in and 1.5 inches in, 30 inches. So go every 5 inches. I like it. Now since I don't want to write on these, I put down some blue painter's tape. I'm going to put a starting point down here, and I might as well do an ending point here. Measure in 1.5 inches, measure in 1.5 inches, and that gives me 30 inches in between. I'll go every 5 inches, so 5, 10. Now if I hold this right there, I can see where I got to drill, roughly. I'm going to be using that drill again that's got that countersink. I wish these countersinks had stops. Now it doesn't matter which one of these 2 sides I drill the holes in. I got my chamfer right here, so either way, either side I put the holes in, it'll work. This is another day, by the way. So I got all the holes drilled. The top and bottom pieces, since they're coming in into this one, it's going to be, these holes started at 1 inch in because these are 1/2 inch thick. Made this 1.5 inches right here. And then the spacing ended up working perfect with these holes. That's 5 inches right here. So this ended up working out very well. Oh, and I also cut this one because when I was editing the video, that bothered me how much it bowed out. Now I need to cut this about here. I mean, how's Peanut doing in these videos? Do you guys like the new style, or is it annoying? Sometimes it's obnoxious, I know. When I drilled these holes, it left kind of a burr on the outside, so I'm just going to smooth this over, and then I'll put 2 coats of finish on it. I am going to clean the shop when I'm done with this project. I wonder how many people are going to comment about how dirty it is. It's going to be a lot of safety police. Well, that. So when I ordered the window, I asked the guy about this piece of rubber gasket that goes around the window, and he referred to it as the sight line, which makes sense. He told me that the sight line was 3/8 of an inch. Now I took that into consideration when I got the piece of glass made. My original plan was to install silicone around the entire window, but I'm afraid over time that it's going to creep down So if it slid down right here, you're gonna see that sightline gasket on the top of the window. So what I did was I cut these really thin pieces of wood, and I'm gonna put those on the bottom of the window in 2 spots, so that when it does creep down, this ends up being perfect along there. So I bought some clear silicone. I'm just gonna put a tiny hole. So, you ready? I am. Yeah, I mean, I'm full of good ideas. So I'm gonna install a small bead around the outside perimeter. I don't want water to get in here, so I'm gonna try to seal that. If I end up with like squeeze out, I'll be able to cut it out. So I'm gonna slide the window up to the top. I'm gonna silicone the bottom here. I'm gonna install my little shims. Good. I'm gonna look at the sight line all the way around it and make sure it's good. Good. And then I'll silicone around the window. Peanut, what are you doing? Not bad. I bitched about silicone before. Silicone is never to be seen. It's a mistake fixer. It's always an abortion. Well, Peanut is gonna have a good joke there, I bet. Peanut, is it gonna be rich? Put this Scotch-Brite pad right there. It won't scuff it. I'm terrified of breaking this window. So anywhere I have silicone squeezing out, I'm gonna let it harden, and then I'll come back with a razor blade and cut it once it's dried. But that window is installed. Next episode, we'll do this project, which I need to go and fix right now. You'll see why. See this? Oh, I can't even move it, so heavy. We still got 2, so about 5 more episodes, I'm guessing. But anyways, I think that's outro time, right? Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. My next video, I will be starting to install this. This part, the door handle, ended up being 2 parts, but I think I drill out for it in the first part, and the second part I'll show you how to install it and put it all together. So you get to look forward to that. If you want to support my channel, please go check out my Patreon page. Consider being a small contributor to my project, and I promise to continue making these videos. If I ever stop, I will cancel that Patreon account so you don't get screwed out of nothing. But my goal is to shoot for 8 videos a month, which is a lot of work, and with your support, it will ensure that that continues to happen. So please check that out. If you're new to my channel, of course, you've already hit that subscribe button because you're already at this point and you're already a subscriber. So thank you for being a part of this channel. Make sure you leave your comments and questions down below, and I'll address them in later videos. I think I already went over that, but I'll re-edit it and make it look like I said it once. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys.